Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
Oh, man, KD. All right, well, so we thought that the Raptors were going to win the championship in Game 5, and KD is back. Changed everything. So KD's back. He comes back and plays for 12 minutes, has 11 points, and looks great. And then pops his, what we think is his Achilles. He's getting his MRI right now as we speak, as we're recording this, so we might get news during, and then we'll have to change this. But either way, it looks like he's going to be out for a year. And that sucks. And I never thought that KD was coming back for the finals at all. So when I heard the news, I was. It's not that I was disappointed, but I was very leery of like, okay, like this is not. I get it. The championship's on the line. You're down 3-1. I know he wants to be out there. I'm sure they cleared him, because if they didn't clear him, he's not going to be out there.
Who's they?
But look. I don't think it's in the best interest of the doctor. There's a million theories out there and stuff. It's not in the best interest of the doctors or the Warriors to be like, oh, he's really like 65%. We should just get him out there. No, that doesn't. Sometimes you're going to lose, and that's just, you lose fair and square, and then hopefully he signs back, and next year you win. It doesn't benefit the doctors to push Kevin Durant out there before he's ready. That doesn't make sense. I'm sure KD wanted to be out there. They said it was a mutual decision. I believe that.
By the reaction I saw Bob Myers post game, and the tears in his eyes and blaming himself, I feel as if there could have been something that they could have done differently that may have resulted in something else. Yeah,
the thing they could have done differently is said that he was out for the rest of the playoffs, which is what they did with Kevon Looney quickly, and then all of a sudden he's back.
And now he's out indefinitely again.
Right. So what they could have said was, Kevin's done for the rest of the playoffs. And then if he happens to get to the point where he was last night, where he felt like he could come back, then you make that decision. But it made it a narrative for all of us, back and forth every single day. Is KD going to play? I never thought he was, so I didn't ride that roller coaster, but everybody else did. Now, he's injured, and that changes the course of everything, because I think that the Raptors are going to win in Game 6. If not, they're going to win in Game 7, because once KD went down and the fans started cheering and everyone got emotional, I was like, all right, the Warriors are going to win this game. Like, there's too much emotion going on right now.
The Raptors felt embarrassed about the cheering.
The cheering, and even if it was just for a second.
You guys get this one.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. I don't want to focus on that right now. I felt like the Warriors were going to take that game after that happened. But here's the thing. The Raptors are a really good team, and I don't know why no one wants to say that. The whole idea that they need an asterisk next to this championship is ridiculous. People get injured. It happens. Remember when Kyrie got injured? That happened. Are we going to count that against the Warriors championship? No, because injuries are a part of the game. Yeah. And yes, I get it. Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA, in the world, and he's not there, and that makes a difference. And that's really just... It should be shocking only to the people who thought that the Warriors were better without Kevin Durant. Right. Yeah. Which was silly. Like, the discussion of, they play differently. Like, yeah, they play differently when there's not someone out there scoring 35 points. You kind of have to have the ball in your hand in order to do that. So, yeah, their offense is going to look differently. But you're not better without the best player in the world on the court. That's nonsense. So this is really only news to that group of people that thought that was possible. The Raptors are a great team. They deserve this championship. I don't care about what happened with the fans. Fans freak out all the time. Right. You can go through a whole list of
that whole game was chaotic. Everybody was in the moment. I guarantee you when they saw KD go down, no one was thinking about the significance or the severity of the injury. They were like, oh, we can win this game. Well, we might win the entire finals right now. And then they realized what was at stake and how they were acting and started to calm down. But it was a knee-jerk reaction.
For sure. And like I said, we'll get into that later. The bigger implication is what happens next. So moving forward, I'm going to assume that the Raptors are going to win the championship. What changes now? I think the entire free agency market looks differently, because guys are going to be looking at the situation with KD. One, I think KD stays now. I don't see how KD leaves amidst a catastrophic injury to New York. Like, you're not going to get the money that you thought you were going to get. I think that the Warriors do give him the max deal regardless, because now they look like they're putting him in the category of Cousins, which he's not. He's going to come back and he's going to be great. He's not Boogie Cousins. And that's not just a Boogie Cousins, but they have kind of different body types and kind of different skill sets and kind of different resumes. So KD does not need to be pushed into that category. But if he stays with the Warriors, they can offer him $220 million 5 years. If he goes anywhere else, he can get $164 million for 4 years. So that's $56 million he's leaving on the table. 56 million. 56 million for 4 years. So that's $56 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 million for 4
If anybody does that, it's Kevin Durant, though.
Yes, but that's a lot of money, especially when you just had a catastrophic injury. Now, if he didn't, then I would agree with you, but I just don't see that happening. And I think that this has a ripple effect on the rest of the NBA, too. I think that Kawhi Leonard sees this and stays. I think Jimmy Butler very well may stay. And the only big movements that will end up happening could end up being trades.
Yeah, no,
like there are going to be some other smaller free agents that move around, but the big impactful ones I think are going to be trades.
Yeah, I didn't want the Raptors to win this series because I wanted Kawhi to have a reason to come to LA to the Clippers, where I wanted him to be, and I knew winning would be a galvanizing thing for this team and bring him together, and he might sign some 1-and-1 deals. Maybe 1-and-1 deals are kind of gone after this Durant injury as well, but this injury in itself and what KD tweeted or posted on social media right afterwards, this feels like the galvanizing thing to bring him closer to the Warriors, seeing how much people actually care about him, how much he's actually missed, and now fans see it, which is a big part because KD cares a lot about what people think about the situation he's in.
Yeah, I think this weirdly turned the Warriors into a sympathetic figure.
It's weird. This is the first time I've seen the
about
Warriors.
that,
yeah. Go ahead, jump on the mic, Mr. Bay.
We should have always been sympathetic because we're the best, and the best get the best, and you should favor the best.
Listen, he's been
not your strongest argument, but I think
he's been on high alert this whole time. I've been very worried about him. He's been touchy ever since.
This is the least triggered I've been in days. So.
Congrats.
I mean, that's fair. You should be triggered because you're going to lose the finals, and a lot of things could possibly change for you. So I understand that. But it did make the Warriors into sympathetic figures because everything that happened with KD coming back, even coming back, kind of saving the basketball side of the series because there were a lot of storylines going on here. But him coming back and playing as great as he was for that 12-minute span was like, okay, this is everyone's watching. We have to see what Kevin Durant does. Now he's out. You saw the emotion from all of his teammates. You saw the reaction from Raptors fans. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we all feel bad for the Warriors. Like the dynasty's gonna end, and now KD's gonna be out, and what's gonna happen? It's like, how did all that happen? What happened to the Hamptons Five?
No, we knew the dynasty would end via injury the entire time, and no one said that, because we're not rooting for that.
No, it could have ended from Kevin Durant just leaving.
But this three-peat, the three-peat is gone. It's not going to happen.
Well, yeah,
which changes everything moving forward. It's right. I still think the Warriors can win in 7. I still truly believe that, but they just, for the first time, they don't have the depth to beat the Raptors.
Yeah, no, Kevon Looney is out.
And this is the first time
he's definitely out. It's definitely it's not there anymore.
It's gonna be tough.
But this is the first time we've seen this team, this Warriors team in the finals, and the team they're playing against is just clearly better than them. So watching the championship muster, and let's not talk about the reason that they won by 1 point. The crazy moving pick call they had on Boogie Cousins.
No. That was an easy call. That is not a crazy call.
The calls the entire time. They were calling for the
goaltending, and it was clearly a moving screen.
The Warriors were at the foul line every 2 seconds compared to the Warriors. Like
the Raptors.
The Raptors. It felt weird. I am a conspiracy theorist. It felt like, let's go to Game 6.
Well, so then wouldn't they be calling calls for the Warriors?
Yeah.
It was very
just
good.
Wanted to call a conspiracy so bad. I think
it was very good for the Warriors.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, we don't, because that doesn't make sense.
To the sort of sympathetic figures that we see in the Warriors now, or other people seem to see in the Warriors now, I think it speaks to something that I've wanted to say for a while, which is that when this is gone, whenever that is, whether it's next season, whether this is the moment, Game 3 or Game 6 is the end, whenever that happens, we're going to miss the Warriors bad. It's real good basketball.
I fully agree
more
with you.
interesting stories than everywhere else but LeBron. And if, like, everyone's so excited to see the Warriors fall, but if it's Raptors, Blazers in the finals next year, no one's going to watch and no one's going to care. So
that was the take you were looking for earlier.
I think that we the Warriors' life flashed before their eyes and our eyes, and we got to see, like, oh, damn, this was pretty great. And so I hope that continues for the rest of the series, win, lose, or draw.
Well, I disagree with the people won't watch the finals take, because that was the same take that everyone had with this one. Like, everyone's sick of seeing the Warriors and no one cares about the Raptors, and that's just simply not true. Everyone's going to watch championship basketball no matter what.
I don't watch superstars.
Exactly. But I do agree with you, and that's why I said this earlier. In the year, I want to appreciate what I'm watching with the Warriors because it is greatness, and I don't have any personal vendetta against the Warriors. I think it is great basketball, and it's revolutionized the game what Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have been able to do, and all the credit goes to Steph Curry. But I mean, it's Splash Brothers for a reason. Klay Thompson made that as dynamic as it was. But I agree with that for sure. But the bigger takeaway from all of this is what has happened with KD is I think the narrative of the dynasty changes a little bit. They only won one without. If they end up losing this series, which let's assume that they do,
right?
They only won one without KD, and this one they needed KD. So it really the whole idea that this was like KD and the Warriors doesn't make sense. Like I think that narrative is you got to dead that now because not only did they need KD, it's literally proven. Like it's in the proof is in the pudding. They're not a dynasty with one championship. Lots of teams have won one championship. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, you had a great season and a great year, and you won a championship. Multiple championships is what you call a dynasty, and they needed KD to do that. So I think that's all the more reason that KD should stay now, because as much as it would have been great for KD to be in New York healthy, now that he's not healthy, I don't think he goes. And now I think he's a more of a bigger part of the Warriors dynasty than he's gotten credit for up until this point. And weirdly, this injury will show how important he was to this stretch.
Yeah, especially moving forward.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm obviously we all feel bad for KD. Like it sucks. He's going to be out, and that's the worst. Losing a superstar like KD in the finals. Yeah. But right now it doesn't feel that way. I do want to give Kawhi props because he's been absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Which I predicted.
Okay. He did. He definitely he shied away from taking that last shot last night.
Okay, so we can talk about that for 1 second. Game 5, end of the game, championship on the line. Kawhi, you got to do something. I don't even care if you drive in and Andre Iguodala just eats you. You have to you have to be the person. Like I hated that LeBron passed the ball to Kyle Korver and whatever that game was. Yeah. Like they deserved to lose that game that way and deserved to lose that championship.
Never passed to a guy named Kyle with the game on the line. You can't
You're the superstar. You have to do what superstars do. And I get it. It's not the right basketball move. Basketball move. Okay, but I don't care about that. It's the championship. Stand the line. I don't care that MJ passed to Steve Kerr. I don't want to hear about that. This is the moment. Like this is what you're here for. This is the heart of the champion moment. Do it. Like I don't care that you're being doubled. And for that matter, of course they're gonna double Kawhi Leonard. Like what do you mean?
But they were doing that
of course they're gonna do that.
But the longest tenured Toronto Raptor taking the last shot. Listen, that would have been great. That would have been great. And then Draymond Green got his hand on the ball. Like it was a good defensive play. It's not Kyle Lowry's fault.
It was all the Warriors doing what they do and they get the least amount of credit for, which is defense.
Right.
Warriors do not get enough credit for their defense because their offense is so dynamic. They're great defenders, and kudos to Draymond. He did get a hand on it, but I don't want the ball in Kyle Lowry's hands anyway. And that's no disrespect to Kyle Lowry, whose reputation I think has been just completely shined in the past couple days.
Quite the rebrand.
Yes, no, total glow up. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. Of course, that Mark Stevens nonsense.
Yes. He was.
Anytime someone gets shoved and shows restraint, it's an instant glow up.
That's the only time he hasn't looked insane the whole series. But I'll give you that.
He was under the Harry Potter invisibility cloak until this final started. So I'm here for it.
That one.
Yeah, and Marc Gasol leading the team. Like the Raptors team is too good for the Warriors. I don't know if Steph and Klay can muster the Splash Brothers magic to win this series when the Raptors are that good deep into the bench.
They're not going to shoot the way that they shot in Game 5 for the rest of the series. It's insane. And the emotions of everything that happened with KD are going to drop down. I think Toronto wins the series. I hope it doesn't come down to another last-second shot with Kawhi passes around to Kyle Lowry. Although, if you want to get a three-pointer, corner three is the best shot, I suppose. But nobody thought that was going in, right?
Win for KD.
Regardless if Draymond is there.
Sean
Hill did, huh?
No.
You know, but why not? That is a good way to look at that.